Hello, Leo, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? The purpose of these readings is to both bring through the messages that I just mentioned, as well as my experience as a spiritual coach to help you move past your limiting beliefs in order to create the life of your dreams. If that does not sound like that is for you, then this very well might not be your reading. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the messages and clarified those. I have the tarot deck already shuffled that I'll be jumping into in just a second, as well as the decks that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone. So do remember to take what resonates and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Leo, in your recent past, you have what do you need to release? The 10 of Cups in reverse. The first thing that comes through when I look at this message is happiness, like peace and happiness is the result of training your mind to process life as it is rather than as you think it should be. Your recent past is about releasing expectations. One thing that I've really learned is that when we have certain expectations of our future that don't pan out, we then rob ourselves of the experience that is actually happening, even though the experience that is happening might actually be better for us in the end. Expectations of how things should go tomorrow provides us with anxiety of will they work out, and if they don't work out, am I going to be happy? Oftentimes when we have certain expectations, we think that if things don't go exactly as we have planned or exactly as we think they should, that we're never going to be happy and we're never going to get what it is that we want and deserve. Now, that belief within itself is going to keep you from what you want and deserve, but at the end of the day, whenever we can lean on the universe's guidance and the universe's plan for us, we actually open ourselves up to experiences that are far better than our expectations are going to allow us to have, because your expectations are going to be a root of what you believe is possible, right? You expect what you've experienced. And so if you've experienced things going wrong, or you've experienced, relationships ending, or whatever the case is, your expectations are going to start to align with that experience. And in order to open up your world to things that are new and exciting and, new opportunities that align more with your soul and with what it is that you want and deserve, you have to let go of the expectations that you have just based on what you think is possible because of what you've experienced. Hope that makes sense. We're going to dive a lot more into that throughout the reading. Now, in your current energy, you have your hard work is paying off with the Knight of Wands in reverse. So I do definitely feel like you're headed in the right direction, but I also feel like there's something like a step you need to take, or a leap you need to take, or something that you're needing to do to fully align with whatever path it is you're trying to create. I don't know what that is yet, but I do feel, in your immediate future, and I actually thought this was kind of funny because I did the Sagittarius reading right before this reading, and I shuffled the cards, cleared them all and everything, but the Queen of Wands came out for their immediate future too. But you have be bold to make the first move with the Queen of Wands. Yes, this Queen of Wands could be you being a fire sign, whether you're male or female, but I also feel like what this is talking about is action. This be bold to make the first move card is, take that first step in the direction of where you're trying to go. Maybe you don't know what that step is yet. Maybe you'll find some clarity throughout this reading, or maybe it will come to you in a dream or in a conversation with someone or in a Facebook post, or, something where you might not be expecting it. And so I do feel like there's certain guidance that is appearing to you about how to move forward, but I also feel like whatever step is needing to be taken is a little bit of a risk. Not that it's like a bad risk, but I feel like it's a risk. Like, to you, it feels like a risk. In the end, I feel like if you lean on the universe's guidance, it's going to pay off. But to you, there's a lot of fear that arises about this. But we'll see what that means. Let's start by looking at your recent past, clarifying what do you need to release with the Ten of Cups in reverse. Recent past for Leo, clarifying what do you need to release with the Ten of Cups in reverse. What does Leo need to know about their recent past? Dang, okay. Okay. Ten of Swords, Two of Swords, Seven of Cups in reverse, Queen of Wands, Page of Cups, Ten of Cups in reverse, which is funny because we have the Queen of Wands and the Ten of Cups in reverse. And then this Page of Cups kind of in the middle here. this is how I feel like this is going. I'm trying to like reorganize these in the way that I feel. Okay. Okay. Here's this Ten of Swords that exists in your past. This is, you know, this can be betrayal, feeling kind of stabbed in the back by the universe, things just being very painful. When you look at the Ten of Swords at like its most basic meaning, it is that things didn't go according to plan. Things didn't go the way that you expected, and you were left feeling very betrayed because of that. Now, that could have come in the form of a person, a financial situation, a circumstance of any variety. Now, I look at this Two of Swords and I see that you're kind of, it's almost like you're at this crossroads because you have this Page of Cups, which to me is like divine guidance, intuitive guidance, like messages about your, like what your movement choices and decisions. And then the Ten of Cups in reverse, which we kind of talked about already, which was expectations. You have this Two of Swords and the Seven of Cups, which is kind of like this decision. So it feels like, it's almost like, I'm going to talk about this in a bigger perspective and then kind of narrow it down to your situation. And each and every moment of our life, we have a choice to make. We can make a choice based on what we expect, or we can make a choice based on what we want, like what it is that our heart truly desires. Now, in order to make the choice of what our heart truly desires, we have to be willing to listen to that intuitive guidance. And oftentimes, and kind of like what I was talking about when I first tapped into this energy, was that we expect what we've experienced, right? If you have experienced a certain level of relationships or a certain type of treatment in relationships or a certain type of financial situation, if your expectations and what you believe is possible for you is going to be what you limit yourself to in your future and in your reality. So what this message is really saying, and I know I kind of took a long way to get there, but what it's really saying is that you're needing to open yourself up to the possibility of what could happen even if things haven't worked out the way that you thought that they should. Because I feel like what kind of happened in your recent past and the way that things fell apart, it's because you were selling yourself short. It's because things weren't as good as they could get. And to you, it might feel like worst case scenario, you lost what it is that was your potential for happiness, or you lost what it is that was going to lead you to where you want to go, whatever the case was. But in reality, it's not actually that. It's not that things didn't work out. It's that they didn't work out the way you thought they would, but they're still absolutely working out for you. Okay. I know that was kind of a lengthy message, but I felt like it was important to really pull all those. Okay. Recent past for Leo. Recent past for Leo, please. One more. Recent past for Leo, please. Recent past for Leo. Eight of Swords in reverse, Four of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Strength in reverse, Five of Wands in reverse. Okay, and then there's the Justice. Okay. You have, obviously an idea of what you want your life to look like. And if you don't have an idea of what you want your life to look like, you should get very, very specific on what you want your life to look like. What do you want to feel on a day-to-day basis? What kind of passions do you want to pursue? What do you want your day to be filled with? How do you want to feel in your relationships? Get very real about what it is that you want. And then start to uncover, and this is talking about your recent past, but it's applying to your future, and I will tie it back to your recent past, but start to uncover the limiting beliefs that keep you from the life that you're wanting to experience. And when you look at those limiting beliefs, meaning I'm not good enough, I'm not deserving enough, I'm not capable enough, start to look at how those beliefs have manifested into past situations. Oftentimes, when we don't think that we're deserving of love, let's say that, when we don't think we're deserving of love, we'll search out situations on a subconscious level, because 95% of our movement choices and decisions are subconscious. We'll search out certain people or situations on a subconscious level that align with the belief that we're not deserving. And then situations will play out, we'll end up getting, cheated on or treated poorly or abandoned or whatever the case is, that will affirm that limiting belief of I'm not deserving, or I'm not deserving of love, or it's never going to find me, or whatever the case is. And that belief is actually more responsible for things that manifest into your reality than you realize. Now, that's not to say that the things that have happened in your life are your fault. Your trauma and the way that you have internalized your beliefs are not your fault. But it is your responsibility, if you want your reality to change, to tap into what beliefs have gotten in your way in your past. Because I feel like what happened in your recent past was actually the manifestation of certain limiting beliefs that you have about you and your reality. And there's a need to figure out what those are, because whether or not you realize it, those beliefs have actually been really holding you back in a lot of ways. And this Eight of Swords in reverse, this is my favorite card in tarot. This is releasing yourself from those limiting beliefs that keep you trapped in repeating old cycles. Oops. My nails, they're too long. All right. Recent past for Leo. This is for Leo's recent past, please. Recent past for Leo, please. Oops. Recent past for Leo. Death in reverse. Ah, there it is. King of Wands in reverse in the world. Okay. Sometimes when we don't see what we're truly capable of, we resist the changes that are necessary to get us to where we want to go. You have been stuck in a cycle, and specifically in your recent past, you've been stuck in a cycle where you didn't want things to change, but you wanted things to change. So for instance, you were in a for example, you were in a relationship that didn't serve you. It didn't bring you the fulfillment you were looking for. It didn't make you happy. It didn't make you feel good about yourself. It didn't respect you. It didn't reciprocate. You didn't want to end the relationship, but you wanted the relationship to change. So you wanted to be in a different relationship, but you didn't want your circumstances to change. Same thing could be with financial situation. You're, working this job that you don't really love, but it pays the bills, but yet you want to be fulfilled, but you don't want to leave the job because you're worried about money, right? Like sometimes we don't realize how much we settle for what we think we have to settle for, because what we think is possible, we think can only exist in the situations that we are currently investing in that moment. When in reality, our expectations of how things should go keep us from how things actually could be. And so that's really what you were fighting with in your recent past, was you were in situations that you wanted to change, but you didn't want to make the changes to get there. And that's absolutely understandable. Your fear is very powerful. You are a human being having a very human experience, and your limiting beliefs have been a product of your experience. So I'm not sitting here saying that the way that you felt or the movements that you made, it's not that they weren't valid. It's that in a way, you're needing to be very honest with yourself about the fact that you were settling and you were selling yourself short because you thought that the only way you could be happy is if you made the situation that you were in, even though it was unfulfilling, if you like tried to force it into being something fulfilling. And that's when we think that our control is the only way that can get us to where we want to be, right? And I've experienced that in so many of my relationships, but all that does is burn your soul out, because the universe, through your experience and the disappointment that you receive and the pain that you end up experiencing with that circumstance over and over and over again, you get stuck in that cycle, right? And your soul is trying to tell you through that cycle, hey, Leo, this isn't what's meant for you. There's something better for you. But you're so afraid that there's not anything better out there for you, because you've never experienced it, right? So again, very valid. So you think that you stay stuck in that cycle because you think that's as good as it can get for you. And your recent past was a lot about that. Now let's look at your current energy. You have your hard work is paying off with the Knight of Wands in reverse. Current energy for Leo, please. Current energy for Leo, please. This is for Leo's current energy. there's that disappointment. And there's that Knight of Wands in reverse. Okay, this wheel wants to turn in your favor, Leo. But boy, you are just stuck in this cycle of disappointment. The cycle of disappointment is one that I was definitely talking about in your recent past that's still affecting your current energy. It's where you're wanting things to change with a certain person or situation, but you're proven over and over again that they won't, but you hold on to the hope that someday they will. So in short, you invest in something for the hope of what it could be instead of for what it shows you to be. This happens a lot in relationships. We fall for people's potential, or it can happen in jobs too. Like, you get this job, but you have this crappy boss or crappy manager that doesn't see your value and continues to treat you poorly over and over again. Like, we get stuck in these cycles of disappointment where we expect things to change, but invest in the same things, expecting them to change, and then things never change because it's not that things can't change, it's that we're investing in the wrong situations to bring about that change. And so there's almost this lack of seeing the truth, because it's really easy to feel like you don't have control, right? It's really easy to feel like you're a slave to a certain boss or certain company or certain job. It's really easy to feel like you're stuck in this relationship because you can't get out because you don't have the finances. It's really easy to feel out of control when you look at things through the lens of what you know in that moment right then and there, right? Again, what you can expect because of what you see right in front of you. Whenever we widen our perspective and we say there are always solutions to our problems, there are always ways to find better for ourselves, there are always ways to create better for ourselves, and we start to lean on the universe's guidance to do so, we start to open up our world from what we think is possible to what is actually possible. And so you're stuck in this cycle of disappointment, which is actually sabotaging this wheel from turning in your favor. This wheel wants to turn in your favor. I had someone comment on my channel, I don't remember what video it was, but they basically were saying, and nothing against this person at all, but they were basically saying, I just wish the universe would open the doors to the opportunities that I'm deserving of. And I get that, because when you don't feel like the opportunities are coming, you're going to settle for what you have. But sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is take a risk and open up the door yourself. The universe has options for you. You always have options. You always have solutions, but sometimes you have to be the one, like with the be bold to make the first move, you have to be the one to step into those solutions. The universe can open all the doors that you want them to open, but you've got to step through those doors to make it happen. So you are stuck in this cycle of disappointment right now, but I feel like you can break out of it. I really, really do. And with your hard work is paying off, it's not that you're doing the wrong thing, or that you oftentimes when we experience disappointment over and over again, we can start to believe that means that we're never going to have what it is that we want, when in reality we just need to change our perspective a little bit. Current energy for Leo, please. Current energy for Leo, please. It's not that things aren't happening for you, it's that it's just taking some time. Being able to be patient with the universe allows us to work through all of the fear, doubts, and anxieties that we have about things not coming to fruition, or things not getting better, or things not changing. Now, there's a difference between being patient and being complacent. Okay, so try to figure out those differences, because being complacent is staying where you're at, crossing your fingers and hoping things change, but never actually doing anything to bring about those changes. Being patient is taking steps forward in the direction of change and being patient about that change actually happening. We have to signal to the universe when we want our life to change, and we do that with our intention. And our intention has got to be strong enough to where we start to align our movements, choices, and decisions with that intention. So I often say, you don't need to know what direction to go. You just need to know that it's just realizing that you want things to change, and knowing what it is that you want to change and what it is that you want to receive is the first step. Crossing your fingers and saying, man, I really hope the universe, changes my situation magically. Your dream life that you want, it is not going to fall in your lap. It is not going to unfold without your effort. It has to be built brick by brick. And it starts with your internal world and your internal belief system and how you think about your reality and how you think about what is possible and how you think of the universe's support of you. It is something that is, I don't want to say earned because we all deserve it, but it is something that has to be built and has to be created. Now, that is a co-creation process. You don't have to do it alone. You do have the universe on your side, and the universe is going to provide you with every single ounce of support that you need, but you have got to be open to making those changes yourself in order to get there. Leo's current energy. Current energy for Leo, please. You haven't received what it is that you deserve because you're doubting yourself. You have the King of Wands in reverse, Six of Pentacles in reverse. You're doubting yourself, Leo. You're doubting, like, it's almost like you don't know how powerful and capable you really are, right? And so you're settling for situations that align with this, like almost like selling yourself short. Sorry, there's a fly and it's driving me crazy. But there are really situations, it's almost like if you think about your dream life and what you want to do, like, let's say, pursue a career in art. Like, you want to be an artist, right? The first thing that's going to come to your mind is all the reasons why you would fail and all the reasons why you aren't good enough and all the reasons why you aren't capable. And so, if you allow those reasons to win, you're going to stay exactly where you are because you're like, nah, I don't really want to pursue that career because I'm not going to make it anyway because I'm not good enough. And this person's so much better than me and they have so much more experience and so much more talent. And you're going to slowly but surely talk yourself into your comfort zone and talk yourself into believing that you aren't capable. I really feel like this reading is about you realizing how powerful you really are and how, like, I'm not talking powerful about like how much control you have over your reality, because you do have control over your reality. You don't have control over how things happen, when they happen, or if they happen. What you do have control over is knowing that you're going to get there some way, shape, or form, and putting the rest on the universe and saying, I don't know how this is going to happen, but I believe you have my back, universe, and I believe that I'm going to get there if this is meant for me. If it's not, it's either going to be this works out or it's going to be something better. That's my favorite mantra. It's this or something better. If this doesn't work out, it's going to be something better. So you're frustrated that you haven't received, right? You're experiencing this disappointment. You haven't received this reciprocity. Maybe you feel like you're putting a lot of energy into a path and not receiving a whole lot back. But then on the flip side, there's this need to realize, well, maybe you're not investing in what you're truly capable of. Maybe there's something out there for you that is that's going to bring you both fulfillment and abundance and both, security and happiness. Like, there are situations out there that can align with both. You don't have to struggle to survive for your whole life. Now, if you believe that's the case, then absolutely that's going to be true for you, right? So that's where the inner work is so vitally important. All right, immediate future for Leo, clarifying, be bold to make the first move with the Queen of Wands. This is for Leo's immediate future. Please be bold to make the first move with the Queen of Wands. This is for Leo's immediate future. Does Leo need to know? Okay. This is what you need to know. Your loss that you've experienced in your life, of all sorts, it has given you a lack of hope about the future. Naturally, right? But that's where your expectations aren't in alignment with where you could go. And so what happens is, because there's the same Knight of Wands in reverse is right there, and we've seen this before, and this is kind of an energy of sabotage. It's also kind of an energy of like not taking a leap of faith. Like, I don't want to necessarily say it's kind of playing it safe, but it's also like sometimes it can actively be self-sabotage. And so what I'm seeing is that because of what you've experienced and the loss and the pain that you've gone through, which is valid, and of course I have empathy for that, but all of that has made you believe that that's all there is for you. So then you stop taking the steps towards what you want because a part of you believes that there's no point. Because if this didn't work out, that's probably not going to work out either, right? That's your belief. I'm not saying that's true. And so there's a need to look back on your past experiences a little bit. Sometimes we got to go backwards to move forwards, and to say, what was this loss trying to teach me? What was this experience trying to teach me? Was it trying to teach me that I deserve better? Was it trying to teach me that I was allowing, a situation to take advantage of me? Did something not see my worth? Did I self-sabotage because I didn't know I was deserving? Look back at this past and really look at, what was this trying to teach me, so that I can move forward with that lesson, knowing that I don't have to repeat it because I've already learned it. Because right now, the loss from your past is directly affecting your ability to take steps towards what it is that you really want and deserve, because a part of you doesn't believe that it's like worth it, because why would you take those steps if you're probably going to fail, or if things are probably not going to work out? Or why would you leave that relationship that doesn't really serve you and that treats you with the bare minimum, because because you'd probably just be alone forever. Like, those beliefs really do get you stuck in staying exactly where you are. And again, that's the difference between patience and complacency. Immediate future for Leo. That's upright. Yeah. High Priestess, Six of Swords. Okay. Your higher self and your inner guidance is trying to guide you to receive. It's trying to guide you to the Six of Pentacles here. But it's like, you can ask for guidance and receive that guidance all day long, but you also have to follow that guidance. You have to be willing to take steps in that direction, right? If you feel pulled to do something, if you feel, if you know that there is something that's better for you, a career that's better for you, a relationship that you need to leave, or a situation where you need to stand up for yourself, if you know that there's something that you need to do that aligns with your highest good and with what you're deserving of, do it. And you don't need to know how to do it all right away, but start taking steps in that direction, because that is you receiving guidance on what it is that you can do in order to receive the abundance and the reciprocity and the love and the respect and the success and the financial aspects of your life, being taken care of, that you deserve. And so your higher self is really trying to guide you in that direction, but there's this need to see things, like I said, kind of from a different perspective when you look at your past. Don't look at what has happened in your past as what is going to happen in your future. Look at what has happened in your past as experiences that are trying to set you up for a better future, even if you don't know how that's possible. Immediate future for Leo. This is for Leo's immediate future, please. This is for Leo's immediate future. Oh my gosh, this is you getting what you deserve. Two of Cups with the Nine of Pentacles. This is what you want, right? You want something that that balances you out. That's like almost like the cup to your cup, like your match. You want things that like match your soul. You want, this wish fulfillment. And the thing is, Leo, it's time to start freaking working on it. It's time to start creating that wish fulfillment for yourself, because you have been in situations that you weren't deserving of. You've been stuck in situations that did not align with your soul. And it's time to start investing in the situations that do. And know that you are so much more powerful than the first limiting belief that came to your mind when I said it's time to start working on the life of your dreams. Because I don't have the money to do it. I don't have the time. I don't have the ability because of XYZ. Those are your limiting beliefs. You do. And first and foremost, what you affirm is what's going to be real, right? So what you speak out loud and what you say about your life, that's going to be what you start to experience. I experience that in my life all the time. If I speak about something in a negative manner, I start realizing that shows up more and more in my life. Sometimes in order to be able to attract what it is that you want, you got to speak about your life as if it already exists. I have the money I need. I'm pursuing the passion. I have the career of my dreams. I'm in a relationship with the perfect person for me. Just start talking about your life as if it already exists, and then start following the guidance to get there. And the rest will kind of happen on its own. But I do see that your immediate future is about starting to take steps in that direction. You do have Be Bold to make the first move. And so I definitely feel like this whole reading is about like recognizing how powerful you are, like seeing how powerful you truly are, so that you can start to create the life that aligns with knowing that. All right, Leo, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to jump into the advice for this reading, kind of clarify some of these messages. Then I have an affirmation card to pull at the end. This is a new deck I'm using, and I absolutely love it. So I'm excited about it. Thank you so much, Leo, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you are needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Leo.